Stop scrolling. Right now, you think you are just relaxing by watching short videos. But the horrifying truth is, you are willingly injecting a digital neurotoxin straight into your brain. The billion-dollar tech industry will completely refuse to tell you this. They conceal the fact that your daily scrolling habit is not a harmless break. It is a highly engineered trap designed to hijack your biological mechanism. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are just blindly walking into a biochemical reaction that is silently destroying your mind. Today, I am going to reveal the brutal truth about what is actually happening inside your head. We are going to dive deep into the molecular biology of your brain, and I will show you exactly how to awaken your true potential and revive your focus. Right now, you might be sitting there, beating yourself up because you cannot focus on your work or studies for more than 10 minutes. You feel guilty. You think you lack discipline. But the horrifying truth is, your neurons are physically damaged. Let me explain. Most people think dopamine is the happiness hormone. That is a complete myth. Dopamine is not about pleasure. It is a biochemical reaction of desire, motivation, and the relentless pursuit of a reward. In a healthy brain, dopamine is released when you achieve something difficult. It gives you the drive to hunt, to build, to survive. But the billion-dollar industry of social media has weaponized this physiological barrier. They have designed algorithms to flood your brain with massive, unnatural spikes of dopamine every single time you swipe your screen. It doesn't stop there. Your brain has a baseline level of dopamine. When you experience these massive artificial spikes from cheap entertainment, your brain tries to protect itself. It does this by shutting down its own receptors. Imagine your dopamine receptors are like tiny cups waiting to catch the motivation chemical. When the flood is too intense, your brain literally removes the cups. This process is called downregulation. In other words, your brain becomes numb. This is the exact molecular biology of addiction. You keep swiping, desperately trying to feel something, but the receptors are gone. This is why normal, everyday tasks suddenly feel impossible. Reading a book, working out, or even having a conversation no longer gives you enough dopamine to cross the physiological barrier. You are not lazy. Your brain is just adapting to the massive overstimulation. You are caught in a trap where high-effort tasks feel like torture and low-effort scrolling feels like a necessity. The clinical research on this is absolutely terrifying. Studies show that chronic exposure to hyperstimulating content physically alters the structure of your neurons, much like a substance addiction. The billion-dollar industry knows this. They employ thousands of neuroscientists to keep you addicted, to keep your dopamine baseline crashed, and to keep you profitable. They are silently destroying your ability to achieve anything meaningful in life. You are literally poisoning your own motivation. But do not lose hope. Because just as your brain can adapt to the poison, it can also adapt to the cure. There is a way to heal at the root. There is a way to rebuild those receptors and bring your motivation back from the dead. When you sit down after a long day and tell yourself you are just going to watch 5 minutes of videos to relax, that feeling of relaxation is entirely a placebo. You are actually putting your brain into a state of high stress. The constant context switching, the bright lights, the rapid audio cues, they all trigger a low-grade fight or flight response. Your nervous system is constantly on edge. And while this is happening, the toxic byproducts of this massive neural activity are building up. Just like how your lymphatic system clears waste from your body, your brain relies on a delicate balance to clear out metabolic waste. But when you are constantly overstimulating your neurons, you disrupt this natural cleaning machine. You are left with brain fog, chronic fatigue, and a profound sense of emptiness. The brutal truth is that your environment is engineered for your failure. Every notification, every infinite scroll, every colorful thumbnail is a calculated attack on your attention. They conceal the damage behind the disguise of connection and entertainment. You are blindly sacrificing your future for a fleeting moment of artificial stimulation. It doesn't stop there. The dopamine depletion drags down your willpower, making every small effort feel like moving a massive mountain. Imagine waking up in the morning, feeling a massive surge of natural energy and motivation, completely ready to tackle the hardest tasks of the day without forcing yourself. This is not a distant fantasy. This is exactly what happens when you trigger a biological miracle inside your brain. It is time to initiate a massive reset. You do not need to suffer for months to see the results. The clinical research shows that your dopamine receptors can begin to revive themselves in as little as 48 to 72 hours of strategic deprivation. This method is the gold standard for getting your life back. It is called a dopamine fast, but we are going to do it the scientifically proven way. The goal is not to stare at a blank wall and torture yourself. The goal is to activate your brain's natural cleaning machine. When you completely cut off the cheap, artificial sources of dopamine, like endless scrolling, junk food, and highly stimulating games, you are allowing your neurons to finally rest. During the first 24 hours, you will feel a massive withdrawal. Your brain will scream for the cheap stimulation it is addicted to. But if you hold on, a beautiful biochemical reaction begins. The physiological barrier starts to normalize. Your brain realizes that the artificial flood of neurotoxins has stopped. So, it slowly starts to rebuild the receptors it destroyed. It is a process of healing at the root. Your baseline dopamine levels begin to rise naturally. You are literally bringing your brain back from a state of complete exhaustion. Your nervous system starts to calm down, and your internal cleaning machine works overtime to flush out the metabolic waste that has been clouding your judgment. This is the craziest part. After just a few days of this reset, you'll notice something truly incredible. The everyday things that used to feel incredibly boring, like reading a dense book, going for a long walk in complete silence, or working on a difficult long-term project, will suddenly start to feel deeply rewarding again. Your newly formed dopamine receptors are now sensitive enough to catch the smaller, natural amounts of dopamine produced by real, meaningful effort. You are no longer numb to the world around you. You have successfully rewired your molecular biology. To achieve this gold standard of recovery, you must establish strict physical boundaries in your daily life. For the first hour after you wake up, do not look at your phone. Do not touch it. Let your brain wake up naturally without a massive spike of artificial dopamine. Go outside and expose your eyes to natural sunlight. This simple, completely free act triggers a healthy, natural biochemical reaction that sets your baseline for the entire day. When you sit down to work or study, put your phone in a completely different room. You must break the physical habit of reaching for the neurotoxin every single time you feel a slight drop in focus or a moment of boredom. Replace the cheap dopamine with activities that require genuine physical or mental effort. Exercise intensely, cook a healthy meal from scratch, or learn a completely new skill. These activities release dopamine slowly, safely, and sustainably, building a strong, highly resilient neural network. You are replacing the placebo of digital relaxation with real, tangible physical achievements. This is the ultimate biological miracle that resides within you. Your brain is a highly adaptable, incredible biological machine. It has the absolute power to heal at the root, no matter how much damage you think you have already done. The billion-dollar tech industry desperately wants you to stay addicted. They want you to believe that you are naturally lazy, chronically unmotivated, and fundamentally broken, just so you keep consuming their highly addictive product. But now you know the brutal truth. You know the exact molecular biology behind your lack of focus, and you finally have the scientific tools to destroy the trap they carefully built for you. You are not born to be a passive slave to an algorithm. You are meant to achieve incredible things, to focus deeply on your goals, and to experience the true, lasting rewards of real effort. It is time to awaken your mind. It is time to take back complete control of your dopamine baseline and rebuild your life from the ground up. If this video helped you understand the real science behind your motivation, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and support the channel so we can continue exposing these brutal scientific truths together. Take control of your mind, start your reset today, and I will see you next time.